In the middle of the night, last night, for a millisecond, there was nothing. Is that it? Is that self? Then the mind came back. How could the mind come back in? Where was the mind in this emptiness? When there is nothing in your pocket, how many dollars can come out of this empty pocket? What can come from emptiness? Once the heart becomes still, once it becomes empty, it cannot come back again. So try again, enter into emptiness, and don't think about coming back. Then everything that you see will be in emptiness. Often I am too lazy and seek after distractions instead. You are not too lazy, but you should be supremely lazy, which means you are too lazy to even think. If you think, you are not lazy, but very active. If you don't make use of the mind, it will leave you. So either you become very lazy or very active. I don't believe I can do it. Why not? You have to believe it. No, I can do it. I have to do it. If you are here, the mind is not. But if the mind is here, then you are not. Now tell me, who are you? Who are you? When you ask me, who are you, my mind suddenly stopped. There are no thoughts. Only happiness. I'm surprised that it is possible. Yes, no doubt it is possible. You should have no other thought but this, who am I? If you have any other thought at all, this thought brings you to where there is no thought or concept, or person, or object, to where there is only emptiness. This is your ultimate nature, which is lost because you wanted to enjoy objects of the world, which you have become attached to. Due to attachments, you do not have time to know your own true loving nature, which will give you peace. To find this peace, do as Kabir says. Stay with the saint for just half a second. Just half of the half second. Just half of that, and you will lose that which binds you. With the grace of the Guru, you will know who you are. This grace is a fireball burning all your sins that you have collected. When all the sins are burned, you are like a lotus, as your heart and mind is opened. This is the time everybody has been waiting millions of years for. Don't waste any more time. Have it now. I want to know myself. Forget everything and you will know yourself. If you remember, you will suffer, so forget everything. Dissolve the desire for everything, and you will have everything. When a desire or thought arises, I have been asking, to whom does it arise? The answer is to me. Then the next question is, why do you jump to the next question? Why don't you answer the first question? When you look within, what do you see? Empty space. Who is looking at the empty space and what is seen? I don't know. When you look at thought, it disappears. You are that which is seen at the moment the thought disappears. It is like a river which is limited by two banks. Water limited by two banks is a river, but when the water meets the ocean, it loses its riverness and becomes ocean. The river is lost and becomes ocean. This is what is meant by this inquiry. Do it once and not as a repetitive process. Ask, wait, find out, and become that itself. Don't inquire about others. Who are you? Or what is that? Who am I? Is the first question to be asked. After this explanation, there is nobody left to ask questions. You are consciousness, and you can't become unconsciousness. Do not think, but act spontaneously without the mind. Stay as you are, and don't think about what will happen. Have no fear, and no doubts will arise. I want to laugh without understanding the joke. Then know that someone who is laughing within your heart. You only have to hear this laugh, and this will be the last experience because you will find who is always in bliss, happiness, and in love. Someone is hearing and looking at what is going on. Who is laughing in your heart? Who brought you here? What is the purpose of your coming here? I have questions regarding self-defeating reactions to people's actions. Are you saying that instead of investigating a particular unpleasant reaction, I should just accept it as a consequence of ego? It seems to me that by investigating the ego, we could make our lives better. Whatever you investigate, it is only through ego that you do so. All investigation comes from ego and not from anywhere else. Therefore, if you ask for my advice, simply keep quiet and do not start any investigation. After all, what can you do to investigate a 12-billion-year-old world? How can you understand it? You are here for 100 years maximum. What is your contribution to this 12-billion-year-old world? Simply keep quiet. Let things happen in front of you and enjoy this universe which is offered to you. Don't make any effort and don't think, and you will know who you are. Don't think of the past or the future, and within this, you will find what you never have found before. But few people do this and instead waste their lives in practice which only expands their ego, as they boast of all the ways that they please the divine. So simply be quiet, make no effort, and you will know who you are. This is what I have come here for, to find the unknowable before the I. You have understood the purpose of your coming here. Your purpose is to be at peace, to love all beings, and to know who you are. This is the purpose of life. Slowly you will know this and get through. What is peace? See things with an open heart and you will see what peace, love, and beauty are, and at that moment you will forget everything. Have you heard of Saint Kabir? He says if you keep quiet for an instant, for half an instant, for even half of an instant, then the whole world will run after you. That is the attraction that you will become if you keep quiet. You will be the most beautiful person in the whole universe, and the universe will run after you to have peace of mind. You will become that, and it is not difficult. Can you show me that? Can you show me that peace, the self? Self lives in the heart behind a veil. You will see the self by slowly stepping in and not by knocking at the door. Some messiahs have told you to knock at the door and it will be opened, but they have been misunderstood because really there is no door. Proceed quietly and slowly, so quietly that even thinking is making too much noise. So don't think, and you will be the beloved for the first time, because the condition to see the beloved is to be quiet. Now keep quiet and tell me if you do not see. I don't see. I'll shut my eyes. I said to keep quiet, but you don't understand. You create the veil by shutting your eyes. Whose fault is this? Do not shut your eyes, keep them open, and do not take anybody else with you. You must go alone. This is very precious. Fear comes up when you say go alone. Fear comes because you do not want to go near your friend, your beloved. Touching that, you will become immortal. Just looking at this nectar will make you immortal. This I is poison. Don't take I with you. Go alone. Why take the I? It means fear, separation, body, death. This I is so troublesome, so do not take it with you. Go alone without it, without you, without he, without she. Now you understand. I can find out from your face. You have the taste of what I speak of. You have searched the corners of the universe, but the beloved is always here, so you never knew the way. This is the way. I try to inquire and find who is inquiring, but I can't find him. Exactly. Very good. It is the one you can't find. You have to find the one you can't find. No one has ever found it, so give up the search. If you say that you cannot find it, that is okay. It doesn't matter. Don't try to find it. Give up the search for the coat you are wearing. Suppose you have given up the search. What then is the result? You have to be very careful. It is a very good question, and now it is up to you to give me a reply. The one that you cannot find, let him go. Give up even this concept of search. If you have given up this search for one who cannot be found, where do you stand? I don't know. If you don't know, it doesn't matter. Just keep quiet. Just keep quiet and this answer will show itself. You have to keep quiet and let the quietness speak to you. Stay where the river of thought begins and you are where the answer comes from. How can I be quiet? How can I be mindless and turn off this computer that works day and night? It is very simple and you can have it right now. Keep quiet. Do not make effort to keep quiet and do not think. Do not let a thought stir in your mind, because every thought is the graveyard. Can you think of anything that is not past? To think you must go to the graveyard, dig up a grave, and find out what is in it. That means thought. There is no use in going to the graveyard. Just do not think, and you are free. Just for 1 second, do not think, and in that moment, that instant, that second, you will kiss freedom. If the last breath of the waking state is inquiry, then the first breath after sleeping will have the answer. Can I be enlightened now? This question you are asking now, ask this question to now, and now will tell you how. Ask this question to now, not to the past or future, not to even the present. I am not making a joke. I am very serious, sometimes. Direct your face to now and wait for the answer. Again, I will give you some tips. Don't make any effort when you ask this question, and do not think. The question is gone, but how to make sure of this when I am no longer in front of you? Once you come in front of me, I will stay in front of you, I promise. This is my last satsang. Today I'm leaving. If you are in a hurry to leave, it will not work. You have to stay and clarify things. It is like going to the supermarket, but leaving before you buy anything. It is a waste of time. You have to decide that I am going to a place with a definite reason, and you must decide that you are going to fulfill this reason and purpose. Only a few have decided this, and the rest have gone out to the fish market, and not to this Eden garden of satsang. In this garden, You only have to spend 1 second, or even 1/2 a second. But if you are otherwise occupied, then a 1/4 second will do. You will get everything in this 1/4 of a second if you spend it entirely with me, with no ropes attached to the past. Again and again I remind you, you are here for a definite purpose, and I am going to fulfill it even if you don't want to. Even if you close your fist, I will, with my entire strength, open it up and place a Kohinoor diamond in it. Ramana Maharshi spent many years asking, "Who am I?" before he was enlightened. Do I have to do this? Are there levels of enlightenment? It is not correct that Ramana Maharshi asked this question many times. He asked it only once, before coming to Tiruvannamalai. He was going to school from his home. On the way he felt that he was dying, and this question arose. Who is dying? Who am I? And this lad, on his way to school, found the answer. He realized he was not the body, senses, mind, intellect, and even if these things die, that he would not. After that, he went to Arunachala and stayed there until his last breath, in silence. That silence, he says, is the nature of everyone. And if you ask this question, they also will be silent. There are not levels of enlightenment, but there are levels in your approach. Serious approach, moderate approach, and the third level is doing it in old age. When this boy found it, he went directly to the place of Lord Shiva, and not back to his old circumstances. Levels are of decision only. These levels are for the ego, not enlightenment. The light is there, and if you only half open your eyes, you will not see the sun. The sun is always there and does not turn its back to the earth. The earth turns her back to the sun, and the result is night. There is no night or levels in the sun. There are no levels in consciousness. It is like the ego of the king which kept him away from the pir. But when the ego is gone, he will immediately rush in. Your own light and wisdom waits for you, but you have been postponing it for 1,000,000 years. Also, you don't need practice. In ancient times, people would go to the caves and hide themselves like wolves, but you don't need a cave. You are a human being. You are here just for the question, so find the answer. Don't make any effort and do not think. Find the source of thought. So now it is time for you to find how serious you are. Intellectually, I'm conscious of the source of thought. Simply sit quiet. Don't go out to the tavern. Don't race. Just sit quiet, and bliss will come. Keep quiet and do not think, and there will be bliss. Otherwise, you will suffer. There is no other way. What do you lose if you do not think? When you sleep, you do not think, and what do you lose then? I want to lift the veil. I want to be free every moment. I want to dissolve the I into emptiness. I want to witness eternity. There is no witness of eternity. Who is the witness of this affair of eternity? Who is the witness? This concept of witness produces the witness. So turn your face beyond the witness to who is aware. Who is aware that there is any witness? Then the witness will finish. That is called limitlessness and eternity. There is no word for eternity, no one to speak of any experience, and no time to accompany you. that silence cannot be experienced, and so you are not that which I speak about. Simply keep quiet and see that nothing rises from any quarter to disturb your silence. This is what I can speak about beyond the witness. Silence alone. No waves in that ocean. I am very grateful for your teaching and to sit in this silence with you, but I still have a question. Does it arise from this silence? It arises from my mind. Whose mind? Where is this mind from where it arises? You know the clothes that you are wearing, right? Now tell me where this mind is that you are wearing. It is just a feeling of minus that arises there. It is there, and so you must be here to know this. Stay in this here, and tell me where is body, mind, senses, and manifestation. Stay home, not in the supermarket. It feels like it is just nothing. Let this question arise out of this nothingness and tell me what it is about. There is no question. You have found it. Stay there, and there are no questions, no doubts, no sufferings, no troubles at all. Stay at home. This is your nature. Get rid of all notions because these transients are not your nature. You are free of all notions. Stay here as you are, and you will not have any suffering. This is eternal love and beauty. But if you entertain notions, if you get attracted to following concepts, you will be in trouble. The first notion is, I am the body. This creates time, present, past, and future, and the never-ending cycle of birth and death. So return home, here and now, and you are not to do anything. It does not take time, not more than perhaps a second. In just 1 second you can find yourself, here and now. Don't postpone it. Look at this very moment, this very moment. This moment is your true face. In this moment there is no past or future. In this moment see what is eternal. In this moment, what effort can you possibly make in order to be in this moment? I see that you see it now. Now you can feel it. You are peace, and you are very beautiful, and certainly you are not in trouble. Instantly you will feel within, without, and everywhere. Now ask the question that you had a few minutes ago. I've totally forgotten what it could be, and I have no idea what it could even be questioned. This is very good forgetfulness. Very few people forget the concepts that make them separate and bound. But if you forget these, even the concept of death will not touch you. This is eternal love. Come close and let me see the face of forgetfulness. Look within and you will find that there is no bondage because the concept of bondage is gone. Then you will return to your own natural state, whatever it is. Don't give this another name because then you will just get another concept of liberation and freedom. Just let I am bound vanish and you will return home. There is no question of freedom. Just find where the I that thought that it was bound arises from. I need help with unlearning all my conditioning. You are very lucky because you are so beautifully placed in a human body with the desire for freedom, and you are in satsang. When these 3 things arise, something beautiful will happen. These 3 things, this Trinity, is a sacred confluence. You have done very well. Now just keep quiet and find where your questions are rising from. You will get it because you have a mountain of merits in order to be in this confluence. You have done very well. Now just be quiet and wait for the other side to appear before you. Don't think and don't make any effort, and it will appear before you. Just keep quiet and let it appear, whatever it is. It is enlightenment. I want to be enlightened. Where is this enlightenment? And where are you? Who is it that wants enlightenment? Who is it that wants to be enlightened? Find this out. Which is this I that wants to be enlightened? Ego? Where is this ego arising from? It must be arising from somewhere, isn't it? We will see what we can do about this ego, but first let us see where it is rising from. To find this, you are not to think, mind you, just to see. It is just conditioning. Yes, it is conditioning. There must be the unconditioned from where the conditioning rises out of. Where does this concept of conditioning rise from? Find out where the notions of you and me and other arise from. You are not to think to find the answer and not to think. It is here and now. Find out. Don't give rise to the I thought and tell me what it is. What is before the I? Go to the point before you use I. It is like a huge land, like a vast empty desert. Now don't cling to I and stay as thus. Stay as vast space. What do you see in this vast space? Light. Very good. Now reject this light and the space. No boundaries. Very good. No boundaries, no light, no space. All these concepts are over. This is the unconditioned. That, without boundaries. It cannot be spoken of because even words are gross boundaries. Thoughts are boundaries. Anything you take yourself to be is a boundary. Now speak from here. Stay here without boundary, notion, concepts, or conditionings. Is there any first person? Is there any second person? Is there any third person? Are there any manifestations, or gods, or heavens? There is space, and it keeps expanding. Go on expanding. Be expansion itself. It keeps on going. Everybody is touching everybody. All the colors of the rainbow are running together. For millions of years, you have searched for this beauty in all directions, but you could not find the right place where you had lost it. Now you are expanding in all directions as it. Beautiful. This is beautiful. This is love and beauty. This is what you are. Always you are that. You can do whatever you want because it is your game, your play, your dance. Dance. Here there is no death, no suffering, nothing trespasses in this. Words or mind cannot trespass into this. Nothing can touch it. Nothing can pollute it. This is your place and this is what you are. There is no process or method needed to arrive here. There is no path or way which will lead you here. It is so vast that all of the universes are just in one small corner of it. Don't underestimate yourself. Give full value to what you are. It is the truth. It is always as you are. If there is peace in your mind, you will find peace with everybody. If your mind is agitated, you will find agitation everywhere. So first find peace within, and you will see this inner peace reflected everywhere else. You are this peace. You are happiness. Find out. Where else will you find peace if not within you? Just keep quiet. Do not stir a thought, and you are free. Don't entertain any notions. If you do not entertain just one notion in particular, you will be free. This notion is, I am the body. This is the notion that really troubles you, and you go along and reconfirm it every minute of every day, with all your relations with other bodies and objects. When this notion is no longer there, you will be free. In this freedom you will see the whole cosmos, and all the bodies are you, and you are all these bodies. Nothing will change. A mountain will be a mountain, and a river will be a river. But your viewpoint will change. So pick up the notion, I am free, and both notions will leave you. You are neither bound nor free. You just are what you are. Know this, and all the notions will leave you. You are not the body or the mind or the intellect or the world. You are something else. Find out. What is this thing? Just keep quiet and see. Then it will unfold itself. It will reveal itself. First, keep quiet. There must be a tremendously strong effort and decision to not be washed away by the past and by thought, or the mind will slip back to impurity and mischief. There is nothing without this self-effort. This tremendous effort is easy because it is no effort. When the circumstances of the vasanas arise, the dormant vasanas will also arise. So totally devote yourself to intense self-effort. Divine faith will help you, so jump into the ocean and you will get help from within. I is the illusion destroyed by inquiry. Follow the I thought effortlessly, always in whatever you do. Always look in the right direction. You need only a half step into that. A full step is an activity with a name. Just as a cloud can hide the sun, so the I thought can hide the self. So inquire and find the source of this thought. During this inquiry, do not move any thought, not even the I thought. Give up your preoccupation with other things, and you will see it. Every day, vigilantly check upon the trends of mind. What you think you will become, so do without thought, and you will return to the natural state. Then stay as such, unattached to thoughts. Vigilance is keeping aware of what enters the mind house. Do not fight with the arising thoughts, but simply watch them. Do not disturb your mind, and do not divide it. But even this watching is through mind, so then strike at the root of the illusion by inquiring, who is watching the thoughts? Otherwise, a doer survives as a watcher, and this is mind. In the same way, watching to kill the mind just creates a killer, which can be only effort and movement, only mind itself. So simply keep quiet. Simply keep quiet. Simply keep quiet. And make no effort. Don't make the effort to carry the burden of the I thought. Unceasingly keep nothing. There is no better partner than this. Make friends with that which is not involved in activity. Aspire for that which does not dwindle. Not for transient paltry pleasures. Vigilance and watchfulness must be your habit. The rising thought is samsara, but seeing the thought rise is nirvana. This is a beautiful dance and romance. If it does not reveal itself, it is because you are concealing it with the eye which you use to love the transient. Remove this ignorance, and the truth will reveal itself. This body and mind do not belong to you. Be wise and keep only what is yours. Don't run away from the beloved one, the unknown. Checking the ongoing tendencies to objects of attachments takes the illusoriness from the illusion. Withdraw these tendencies to deeply rooted objects and return to the source. Be vigilant to watch all arise out of the silence and make no effort. Thought and other is boundary. Touch no boundary. Likes and dislikes are superimpositions. Look between them. Don't be enslaved to the engaged mind. If you face the past, you are lost. If the mind is really hungry, give it the food of inquiry 24 hours a day and face yourself. Face love. Inquire. Who am I? Patiently, wisely, honestly inquire, turning your face, awareness within. When you are face to face with self, only keep quiet. This quietness is no mentation, not even stirring the I thought. This quietness is the peace of let there be peace. This quietness is the eternal abode. I have several questions which come from the mind again and again and seem to be needed to be asked, even though they come from the mind and the source of mind is emptiness. You say that the source of mind is emptiness. Do you have this experience? You go from question to mind to source of mind. Are you traveling with it? If you have arrived at the destination where the train halts, as some trains from Lucknow go only to Delhi, like the Gomti or Shatabdi, do you stay there in the train? If you keep sitting in them, they will not move because they are at the destination. Like this, the emptiness is the destination. Tell me what happened there. The train has halted, which means that the thought has halted. So you are sitting in the train. Are you pushing the train farther? I think what happened. No, understand first. Don't waste time. You say that you have returned to emptiness. What do you see? Is there any search? What is there? Nothing, Papa. Don't simply ask questions. Mind hides in questions. You must work with a question and be very serious as to what you want. Simply picking up questions from here and there is a waste of time. When you arrive in emptiness, it is the destination. And in this emptiness, nothing ever existed, including this person. Then who is there? If you find the source of any question, the question will suffocate. So remove but, when, and if. It is just that these questions come again and again. In emptiness, ask me a question. You say just keep quiet, and if a thought arises, watch it, and then keep quiet after it goes. Yes, this is what I say. And what do you have to say about it? I understand what you are saying. Understanding is not needed, something more is needed. What will you understand? If you are in New York and I give you a map for you to get on a plane to Delhi, and in Delhi to get on another plane to Lucknow, this understanding is not enough. You have to get on board. The plane has to carry you. I have been doing this, Papa. You do not need doing. What will you do on board? You will push the plane. Simply keep quiet. They even say this on the plane. Sit down and fasten your seat belts, that's all. Will you push the plane? Simply keep quiet. And by itself it will move, and someone will even bring you a tray of food. This is what it means. Don't make any effort. It is for the pilot to take you, and you cannot advise the pilot. You are not even allowed to go into the cockpit. Keeping quiet means to observe where the thoughts are rising from. There is observation, and this observation is translated into English. Who am I? Ask, who am I? Inside the mind. This is also observation, finding the source of I, or finding where the thought is arising. I don't think there is any difference. Simply observe. Keep vigilant. Don't make any effort. Even when I am quiet, there is still a sense of individual me. When you are quiet, you see that someone is quiet. This I has to be observed. Where does it rise from? Where does this personal, individual I rise from? Look and tell me, what do you see? This is a very good question, and it needs experience, not understanding. So when you look at the I, find where it rises from, and tell me, what do you see? You will not see the observer or the observed. Concentrate on where the individuality of the individual I is rising from. What do you see? Nothing right now. But I do see that things are waiting to jump up. Again, you have to observe what is waiting to jump up. Again, the I. Again, observe that. Do it. Quickly, do it. But you say to observe effortlessly. I must use effort to remember to observe, otherwise I am lost in my thoughts again. To see your nose, what effort do you make? When you see something very close, you do not need effort. When you look at something far away, then you need effort. Now the question is, you are going to look for your own self, your own heart, your own beauty. It is just like searching for your own retina. What effort do you need to see your own retina? Impossible. Impossible. Yes. Yes. Even the retina is away, and that is before the retina. This is what makes the retina able to see. Therefore, it is impossible to see it. So I say keep quiet. Don't look for it with your eyes. You can't see it. But through which your eye sees and through which your mind understands, what will you do to see that through which you see and through which you think any thought? Just be conscious. What effort is needed? Within the ocean, you have to be a wave. Let the waves arise. They are still a part of the ocean. How far has the wave gone from the ocean when she arises? She is still part of the ocean. When the ocean is there, there has to be waves. So what other questions do you have? Because I won't speak earlier than what you asked for. In my Zen practice, I get quiet, but then a painful pressure rises in my head and my heart as I become more aware of all that is going on within me and around me. But what about the observer in Zen practice? I tell you to observe the observer. The observer has to be observed. Now I tell you to observe the observer, and what effort do you need to do this? And if you do it, what is the reward, and what are the consequences? To do this, turn your face within. and let the observer become the object, and let the Supreme Consciousness look at this observer. Even if you try to understand, this understanding will not touch it. You will never understand this. Understanding will be a relationship between subject and object. What can you understand if you erase the object from your mind? What will you do? So, with any method of teaching, you are always dealing with the objects, and this will not give you any fruit. Therefore, I tell you, keep quiet, and it will be taken care of by itself. Only see that the thoughts are passing, and see where they come from and where they go. You remain a witness. Simply witness whatever happens. Be a witness. Any circumstances, good or bad, comes and goes. It does not stay. Just observe. A good circumstance comes, it stays, and then it goes. What does not come and does not go is the witness. When you take care of this, then this witness will be coming and going in front of someone else. Let the witness dance in front of something which has no name. Let this witness come and go as an object. And how to see the position? How to observe the observer? How to witness the witness? Just be consciousness? Yes, that is it. I remember a story of Saint Kabir. Kabir had just come out of his mud house, and he saw two men fighting. A policeman came out and arrested them. One man says, "He has attacked me," and the other says the same thing. So both were sent to court, but the court cannot decide without a witness. So the policeman said, "Only Kabir was there to witness this man chopping the hand of the other." So Kabir was summoned to the court, and when he appeared, the magistrate asked him, "You were there?" "Yes, I was there," he said. "What did you see? Who attacked who first?" asked the magistrate. He said, "The one who has seen cannot speak. The one who speaks cannot see." "What does this mean?" The magistrate was baffled. "What does this mean? The eyes have seen, but they cannot speak. The tongue speaks, but it cannot see." So the eyes cannot speak as the witness, while the tongue is speaking, but it has not seen, so it cannot be believed. So the magistrate was very baffled and set both of the people free. So you need a witness, and you can't speak. I can't think either. Yes, when you see, you become the witness. It is really a joke, I tell you. I want no barriers. I want to surrender to the self. I am not humble enough because of the ego. I ask you to light this candle from your source of light. You speak of ego, and you have started to dissolve it. Even though everybody likes it, you have worked hard. But this is massaging the ego. Everything one does just massages the ego, inflates the ego. But this is not the way to be happy. To be happy is to do away with anything that endangers peace. So I tell everybody every day, simply find out where the thought arises from. I will be happy if I will get this object or this person. So this is the deception of the ego. Nobody is going to give you happiness in the world. Nobody will give you happiness. To be happy is to keep quiet. No relationship will give you happiness. No dear ones will give you happiness. They all suck your blood, and when there is no blood, they will not look at you. This is the way of the world. But if you are conscious in this life, you have a chance to win freedom. For this purpose you came here. Finally, you have come here as an intelligent human being with the good luck to come to satsang. You have all the good points. But what you have to do is clearly understand that when the ego raises its head, You have to strike its root and keep quiet. You're after it now. You're going to do it. Don't be disheartened. Simply watch what is happening and discriminate who is the one who will stand at your side eternally and not run away. Everyone will run away. I had such an experience. It was so timeless. There was cool, silent bliss. Since I saw a glimpse of myself, I have been in so much mental pain, so much I thought, so much unworthiness. You have to know that this mental chatter is not going to help you. Know that this unworthiness will not help you. Know that any thought that arises will not help you. Just go on doing this. And why do you use was timeless? Was is in time. Was means past. This is a good experience. Why have you thrown it away? Why have you put it in the past? Why did you throw it into the river? You had a diamond in your hand, so why did you throw it into the river? Now you can't find it because it washed away. There is one river in India, in Bihar, the Padma River, where people go to find rubies. They pay royalties to the government to have a 10 by 10 foot plot where they can dig. Maybe they find rubies at 10 feet or at 50 feet or further down, but they do it. One man paid the royalty and went to the riverbed, and on his way he stubbed his toe on a rock. He looked at this rock and threw it into the river. A little further on he saw a man dancing. "I am rich! I am rich! I will have a wife and a palace. I have found a ruby." Upon seeing this man's ruby, he realized that he had thrown a ruby into the river. But now it was hopelessly lost. So, having this beautiful experience, how can you afford to lose it? You have gone for this purpose. You have paid royalty, which means this life you have decided to find your own shanti, your own peace, your own love. If you don't use the word was, what will you lose? Then it is presence. So how can you lose presence? Mind will always try to cheat you, but if you say this body-mind is not mine, then you cheat the mind. But the mind was successful. Mind means thought. Thought means I, isn't it? If you simply look at the eye, then it can't touch you. Do you follow or no? Simply look at the eye wherever and whenever it is. If you do not look at it, then it will attack you. My mind was absent. This is bad grammar, I tell you. Why use the word was? Mind means was, so why do you use a double was? When you say mind, it means past. 1 second is enough. This second has nothing to do with time. It is not one of 60 seconds. This second is an instant out of time. Don't look at the time. Don't use was and don't even use is. Not even is. Do you understand? Not even is. If you don't use is, then you will find out who is who. While I was staying in Rishikesh, I heard about you from many people, and so I decided to come to Lucknow. When I first came to your satsang, I was surprised to hear how people write to you about their personal experiences, because I thought that self-inquiry led you to the cessation of identification with thought and emotions. Yes, every day people are writing about their experiences. This is no surprise. There must be an experience when you are seeing something new and fresh for the first time. Isn't there an experience the night after the wedding? But your eyes, your face, and your talk show that you have had no experience so far. You can find out from the face. Even your voice and body will show the state of experience, because experience will change the whole being of a person, inside and out. Anyway, you are here now. Don't be surprised about what people are writing. Someday you too will have that taste. When your work is finished and the questions have vanished, this is the experience. It seems that you have not even inquired. Though you speak about inquiry, you did not inquire. Otherwise you would not have asked these questions. Can you tell me how to stop identifying with thought and emotions? Again, by inquiry, everything stops. If you make the inquiry, who am I? Everything will stop. Just keep quiet. Stop your meditations and find the meditator. When you say keep quiet, instantly my mind asks, how? Here you are to do nothing. Simply keep quiet. And if there is any problem, just ask me. Don't do anything. Don't think anything. For one instant, don't do anything. All that one thinks must belong to the past, and one does not benefit themselves by thinking of what is dead and in the graveyard. It is of no use, therefore do not let your mind go to the past. Mind means past. If something will happen, it will happen just in this instant, not the past. Don't let your mind drift to the past thought, and then you will see that you are quiet. Everyone is always thinking of the past, and therefore they are in trouble. So I advise you not to do it. My mind is like a stubborn goat which keeps butting its head against the wall. But between the thoughts there is peace. This space between two thoughts is another way to have freedom at once. The same is true between two breaths. In between the breath outside and the breath inside, there is no time. And this happens 16 times per minute. Every thought must come from this empty space. Where does your inhalation rise from? Nowhere. Yes, and it is the same for thought. This thought must come from emptiness. Before thinking, you are not thinking. And so if you go to that point where all thoughts arise, that is how inquiry meets the same thing. But it is not explained. It has to be explained. Where does this inquiry come from? Emptiness. Before thought, before inquiry, before breath. The I thought must disappear. If I tell you it comes from nowhere, and you are that nowhere and not the thought, that is what I tell you, again and again. You have to honor this. You have to honor your origin, from where you came. Then you will find that you have never disappeared. You have been always here, and all belongs to you. All you yourself is. You just have to understand this, not to practice. I do not believe in any practices. You have to feel I am that. And this will not come from any practice. You do not have to practice to become yourself, because you are already that. So like this, that has no limitations, no frontiers. This that is ever present, everlasting. So you have to be that, not become that. I have tried for years to be that by finding the meditator, but I can't find it. Then don't find it, then give up your search. If you are tired, then give up your search and ask, what is there that I have been searching for and could not find? Now don't look for anyone. Give up everything, meditations and searching, and then tell me what is left. I don't quite get it. I'm not fully drenched yet, but I feel it is impending grace. Why do you put it to the future? It means you are not quiet. Keeping quiet is the final experience, and you don't need anything more. If there is something that you will do in the future, it means that you are not quiet. Quiet means inside quiet. Your mind has to be quiet, not your lips. So try always to keep quiet internally. If any thought arises, then you are not quiet. So let no thought arise. No effort is needed to keep quiet. Don't make effort and don't allow any thought to be stirred from anywhere. This is called quietness. If you are successful, you are finished. You have nothing more to do. I have been playing cricket since my childhood and very much like this game. Even now I miss satsang sometimes to watch cricket. What is the significance? Always I keep a bat in my hands, and if any ball, any eagle comes, I hit it. If I miss it, I must go to the pavilion because the stumps were drawn and thrown away. But if I hit hard, then the eagle goes to the border of the field and I score a sixer. I have always scored sixers. Keep your bat ready, and when any ball comes, you hit it hard. This is a very good way to keep quiet. When any thought comes, hit it hard and send it back to the pavilion. I always took the game this way. Always keep a bat in hand, dreaming with the bat in hand, sleeping with the bat in hand, and awake with the bat in hand. Therefore, you can see me playing cricket. Is it possible to describe the process when the mind turns toward itself? Turn your mind, and I will see what happens. Wherever it is now grooved or posted, turn it from there. Turn it from the object to where there is no object. Mind cannot be a mind unless there is an object. There is no meaning to bat if there is no ball. Turn your mind so that it does not touch any object. Then what will happen? After turning your mind away from its objects, describe what is the situation of the mind. I can't turn it for you. You have to turn it yourself. You turn your mind every night when you sleep. When you turn your mind inward, how do you feel? Your mind is turned when you sleep. How do you explain this? You would show a different face if you would turn your mind. If you can describe something, your mind is still functioning and it is not turned. When you turn your mind, there is no mind, no describer, no description, nothing to be described. This is after you turn your mind inward. Do it. Don't just speak about doing it. Inquiry is so simple. You can do it anywhere you like. You can do it in the home or office or in the market. Simply carry this thought always. Try to understand. What is all this? Where does this world arise? Who is suffering? How to get rid of suffering? Inquire. Who am I? It doesn't take much effort to keep this on wherever you go. One day you will be advised to attend satsang and your inquiry will be over. Every day people come here for a few hours, get benefited, and go back to their countries. My energy has been rising for 2 nights now. Your allergy is rising now. Do you say energy or allergy? If you are happy with this energy, let it play. Keep it up. If she is troublesome, then take care. I will explain to you how to make good use of this energy. I advise you to dam it and channel it. During the rainy season, the rivers can cause floods, so it is better to dam and channel it. These channels will be useful for everybody and for you. The channel is, find out, who am I? Do not let it freely flow. Then it is up to you to channel it. It will be under your control because you have dammed it, and it will go wherever you like. If you bring it to this peace, you can channel it toward the heart, and ask, what is this channel good for? You only keep quiet. This is also energy. The best use of this energy is keep quiet. It will take tremendous energy to keep quiet. When I ask this question, who am I can't keep quiet. Doubts come up, but I want peace. You are not quiet, and therefore you have not asked this question. You have to ask this question to the mind itself. Ask this question to the source of this thought. First, understand the question. Who am I? Where does it come from? From the walls? From the books? Where does this who come from? Ask this question to this who. When you speak of not being quiet, this itself is bringing you out of silence. Inquiry should bring you home. It should not bring you outward. Now ask the question, where does the who come from? Turn your face backward. Everyone's mind is working forward, and therefore they are in trouble. But you have to work in the reverse. Go back in the reverse and find out where who rises from. I can't find the source. What is there before the who? There is nothing to do, just simply find out where this cup is rising from as this cup. The cup sitting on this table full of water rises from the table. So I say, where does this question arise from? I can't find it. Which is this I which cannot find it? My mind. Mind and I are the same thing. What is there before the mind? When I arises, it arises from somewhere. Where does it arise from? Where does the source of the ocean arise from? Like this, look below and find where the I rises from. I can't see. A seer is needed when you look out to an object, but I don't want you to touch objects. I want you to turn back. Simply see the source of the I. Where does she rise from? You are in the habit of seeing objects, but this one that we speak about cannot be objectified because it is not an object. Reverse your mind to that which is not an object. Objects disappear and appear. Your body is an object. That is not. I can't perceive it. It is before the I, so of course I cannot perceive it. So don't touch this I. I is mind, thought. Don't touch it. Answer me, but don't touch the I. I can't. I said don't touch I. I can't. Keep this self-inquiry maintained constantly. You need not do it constantly. Only once you need to do it. It needs no repetition. Only find out, who am I? And you will get the answer now. Ask, who am I? And listen. Don't think about it. Simply ask once and don't think about it. And don't make any effort to find the answer. Do you follow what I say? Do not keep any thought in your mind, even of this inquiry, which also is a thought. And don't make any effort. Wanting to keep up this inquiry is arrogance. Only ask once, and the answer will reveal itself. You can't command or demand. Allow time for it to reveal itself to itself. It is not an object, nor is it a subject. So don't keep any object in your mind. Why do you force this happening? this revelation, this reality. Let it take care of you. You just surrender to this reality and keep quiet. Keep quiet and allow it to reveal itself. When you are not quiet, it will not reveal its revelation. It reveals. It does not show up. It is like being. Whatever it is, being is revelation. You can't compel this being to do anything. When you are quiet, this being reveals itself. Its name is being, not had been, not would be, but being. I know that you say that no effort is needed, but I am so lazy, I need effort just to start. It is always here, there is no starting. Even while sleeping, you can do it. You are not to begin it, you are to be it 24 hours a day. It seems that I need effort to do what you have been talking about. What effort do you need to drop something? Any object which comes on your head, simply shake it off. One man had 100 kilograms of rock on his head in the hot summer heat. He went to a man and asked for help, and the man said, "Here, you take 10 kilograms of iron. Iron is better than rock." So now it is 110 kilograms. Another man gave brass, it being better than iron, and now he has 120 kilograms on his head. So it is. Wherever you go, they will load some weight on your head, on your mind. Who is the teacher who does not load any weight on your head? They all say, read this book and do this practice, and therefore they just add to the burden of your mind. Don't accept a teacher who gives you any weight, any thought, any practice, and vipassana or upasana. Don't take him as a teacher. A teacher doesn't add any weight. Only preachers add weight. You must have been with a preacher before. Just simply be quiet. Before your birth, you were quiet. After your death, you will be quiet, so why don't you be quiet right now? True relaxation is keeping quiet. When you think there is suffering and you can't relax. When you are happy and relaxed, you are not thinking. Your happiness does not come from the objects of your desires once you attain them. Happiness comes from the cessation of the desire for the object. When there is no more desire, there is no more thought, and there is happiness. Most people don't even notice their thoughts and are washed away in the current of the river. Be vigilant. Whenever the thought comes, watch it. Then there will be no thought. Only when you go through the routine of life without thinking will you really enjoy it. Whatever comes, let come. Whatever goes, let go. You simply keep watching. Meditation is when the mind is free and not holding thoughts. Let the thoughts come and go, but do not run after them. If you turn your head and watch someone walk down the street, you are lost. Better just to let it go. This is the happy way of life. Let trains on the platform come and go and get into the one which is going your way. Don't make friends in the transit lodge, for they are not going where you are going and you will only be distracted. This world is a transit lounge of people, and your mind is the transit lounge of thought. It is not your permanent home. So don't make friendships with these people who will disappear. Make friends with one who is traveling with you on the same flight. Make a friendship with that. I want to be happy and remain dancing, but I can't keep my mind and heart from fighting together. This fight is not possible because you can only fight with the mind, not with the heart. When the heart is there, there is no fight because there is no mind. You will only fight when you do not have any relation with your own self. Then only the mind is the commander-in-chief of your armies of thought. So look at the heart and try again. I try to look at the heart, but I so easily get attacked and trapped by the functioning of the senses. I cannot stop the functioning of the mind enough to see just heart. The functioning of the senses is the observation of objects through one of the 5 senses. When the objects are seen by the senses, who is aware of the senses? This you should have done. Who is aware of the senses? You can call it intellect, intelligence, buddhi, knows the function of the senses. Who is aware of the intellect? The mind is aware of the intellect that decides. Then comes the senses and then the objects. Who is aware of the mind? Call it I. I is aware of the intellect. Intellect is aware of the mind. Mind is aware of the senses. And senses are aware of objects. Who is aware of the I? Now you are going back to no-thoughtness, to silence, to peace, to the source. This is how to stop the functions of all things. Find where the energy is coming from. Find what is always at peace. Find what is never disturbed. How do you know that you are aware? How do you know the I is aware? You have to even go deeper than the I thought. What could be earlier than the I? Who decides that you are I? You are 5 steps behind the senses, and there nobody can go any time. This is the source of peace, your home, and this is also called freedom or consciousness. We can take another step back even before consciousness. This is how to stop thought. Go toward your own source and find out where you are going. Where's this place? This will keep you quiet. Find who is beyond the senses, mind, intellect, and I. Beyond the I is consciousness. Always I ask myself, who am I, to go beyond the mind and to find this consciousness, the heart? What do you mean by always? It is not like eating food every day. You have to ask only once and then find the answer. What does it mean if you are always asking the question but never getting the answer? If a student goes to the examination hall and writes the questions over and over for 3 hours, what marks will he get? You have to give the answer. Once only read the question and then spend the remaining time with the answer. This will give you success, whereas filling the whole page with questions will not. So once this question is in your mind, find the answer. Only once you have to inquire who is inquiring. I always get the same answer. That is because you are asking the same question. When you get the real answer, you will be in peace, and there will be nothing more needed. But Nisargadatta's guru told him to constantly attend to the sense of I am, and to give attention to nothing else. I did this and got relief for a few moments. In his case, it wasn't for a few moments, but it was for his total life, his total being. Pay total attention to I am and nothing else. Leave everything behind and go with great love. Your attention was mixed with fears, and so your relief was only for a few moments. His attention was fixed by faith in his guru, and so his relief is permanent.